Cool, man. Okay, well, let's dive straight into it. So what's happening, brothers? It's JP here on the Max Theory podcast. I've got Adam Khan here today. He's a photography pro. What's the name of your company again, bro?
So we're called We Shoot You. We specialize in literally every type of photography there is, but specifically, like, we work with clients and focus on the dating aspect of things because I find out that, like, it's a totally, like, a big niche to expand on, and people are just lacking, brother. They're just doing shit, man. And photography is that one little thing that gives them the edge over other people. I've noticed it with, like, men in general. Like, a lot of them just have shit pictures, and that little extra change they could get boosts their SMV enough for them to, bring it home.
Yeah, I've seen this directly, and we'll get into that. So Adam, first, so tell everyone. Obviously, I know you touched on your company, but tell us, about yourself. How you got into photography, your kind of successes with it, and yeah, we'll go from there.
Yeah, so it all began with, like, in university. It was just a guy with a camera, just enjoyed, like, taking pictures of things and people. And then one time, like, it was like a friend hit me up asking me, like, how can he spice up his dating life? And I was like, I took a look at his, like, pictures, and they're all selfies on his, like, on Tinder. And I was like, well, first of all, this is why you're doing shit in your dating life online. And I got inspired to, like, create my own type of thing. So along came, like, just me doing photography, like, for people independently. But at that time, like, I didn't really, like, I wasn't too concerned with the aspect of, like, having my own business. I just wanted to do it for fun. It was just a small thing among friends. So that's how I came about into photography.
Yeah, and I can actually vouch for Adam. Number one, his skills, and actually how his stuff is working for him as well. Because you showed me your online profiles, you're doing your thing, bro. Like, your pictures are quality, you're getting the matches. Like, you're doing better than me in terms of the amount of attention you're getting. So yeah, you're doing your thing. And
Man, too humble.
but yeah, even like if you look at my pictures, my display pictures, obviously apart from the selfies, like the professional pictures, my latest shoot was with Adam. He's the one that hooked me up, and it's crazy how we met up. I literally put out on my Facebook, I'm looking for recommendations in London, and you saw it somehow, and and we basically linked up. I think within the week or whatever, we linked up. And I was actually a little bit heavier, so you can actually see it in the pictures. So a lot of the pictures I've cropped from my neck up because I wasn't happy with how my body, and that's because I was just overweight. Now we need to do another shoot. Now I'm trimming down. I've got another 9 kilos to go. We'll do more different settings as well. But yeah, I wanted to kind of educate the brothers because I see, like, obviously like a lot of people don't even have a profile picture of their face. Like, I don't believe it. Like, it's crazy. I'm not sure if they're incels and they're hiding, or for whatever reason they're like. And then they complain like online doesn't work, this and that. Like, just go through the common mistakes why people are messing up.
It's mad,
Yeah.
It's mad. It's because I think it's just a general lack of self-confidence with, like, a lot of people. Like, one brother contacted me a while back, and this guy didn't even have a Facebook profile picture, and he was, like, telling me, oh, he's doing bad on online dating, and he was complaining about the women being too superficial. I mean, like, brother, like, you don't take care of yourself. You don't have a picture. For all she knows, you could just be a fucking kidnapper. You got to sort it out. And the top mistakes I would just say is generally just, like, having, like, poor quality pictures. It's like having them taken with, like, poor quality phones. It doesn't signify someone, like, that you should hang out with. Like, if you see some creep with, like, a all blurry camera. I mean, aside from my crappy quality on my computer, it's just shit, the webcam. But you need to have good images, like, because she needs to be able to see your face clearly, and it shows confidence as well. And another common mistake is guys, they don't have enough, like, they're wearing the same clothes in a lot of the images, and it shows to the girls, you're not really a social and active person, and you have no sense of style. It's not attractive. It plays a big role in, like, just attracting a partner or attracting someone to come to you. The styling. So that's another issue when when looking at, like, the pictures of a guy who's on a dating app, and it doesn't differentiate you from the competition, I would say. And also, like, a big issue with it, a lot of guys' profiles is, like, they don't have any, like, status in the photos. It's always just, like, group pictures. Having group pictures, you don't know who the hell the guy is. Like, it could be one of the guys in the images, or, like, the girl doesn't know, and that's, like, a common mistake guys do. And you have to, like, it's okay to have, like, an image of you showing that you have friends, but, like, ideally, like, most of your photos shouldn't be like that. It won't be good, because it just shows you, like, you don't have any, like, confidence in your own image, self-image, who you are as a character. And that's important, like, if you're looking to snag someone from online dating, because girls make their minds up within the, like, first 5 seconds, like, seeing an image. Like, it just, like, so many studies have been conducted by Tinder and OkCupid. It's just wild, man.
Yeah, I totally agree. And it is what it is. It's the reality. Like, too many people complain. Like, I mean, I get into it with so many POA coaches, and they accuse me of only relying on looks and I only do online. I don't approach people in the daytime, and, like, almost like a complete criticism. Luckily, there's a couple other experts like yourself in this arena that always, I could just call on to back me up.
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, bro, I totally sympathize with you. Like, I've gone through, like, the cold approach and things, things firsthand, and I've seen, like, it's just genuinely not worth it. It's, if you can focus on the looks and using online to leverage it, you're going to be wasting half the time and getting double the results. It's just a win-win if you look at it, man.
yeah, for sure. And the way I see things developing is, like, it's only going to go more that way as we more go online. It's like, this recent lockdown, like, this whole year has really forced things online. I mean, I'm sure, I saw a coach post on one of my comments earlier saying about, you can still do day game cold approach now, or maybe there's more reason to, but, I don't think online's going anywhere.
Nah, it's here to stay. In fact, like, at Tinder, I think they did a study, like, I think a year or two back in 2017, and they found out, like, there's an exponential increase in, like, the people just using dating apps. Like, now more than ever, like, people are finding partners from dating apps, and it's just going to be upwards from there. And if you can't keep with the competition, you're just gonna fall behind, and you're not gonna thrive in the market, man. You're just gonna be a dud.
Exactly, and I've even suggested to guys, just go on Instagram. You can see the quality that you're competing with. Like, I mean, do you reckon these Instagram guys and girls are on dating apps or not really?
I think so, man. Like, a lot of people tend to tell me, "Oh, man, hot girls on Tinder. Hot girls don't use dating apps." But believe me, it's a different reality when you're actually living as a guy who has a good level of, like, sexual market value, on these apps. You notice you can meet these hot girls, and, like, it blew my mind away. Like, when I upgraded my pictures, the type of quality girls I was meeting, the quality of girls, it was, shit, this actually does happen, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, your pictures are extremely high quality. You've got one on a piano and different settings. How did you do that? And how did you take the pictures as well? You got, like, your.
So, like, I've got, like, good hookups in the photography community, because I'm quite, like, respected in that, circle of things. And so, like, I know a couple of people, like, working in these spaces, like, hotels. Sometimes, like, they do me a favor and let me, go over there and have a shoot, just to use, like, the setting as, like, for a bit, and sometimes, like, you can just sneak in and just take a picture. So, like, one of my top tips is, if you can't actually get permission don't get caught.
Nice. And so would you advise everyone hire a professional photographer? Like, what if they don't have the budget, or is there no excuse to not get a professional photographer to take your pictures?
Honestly, if you're serious about your dating life, get a fucking good photographer, and don't, for the love of God, don't cheap out on a photographer. I know like a lot of guys who are like, oh, I can find that guy. He does a good photography for £40. So ask yourselves, does he know how these dating apps work and how to make pictures tailored to get success? Because believe me, I've gone through a lot of trial and error to understand how to like manipulate these apps into being successful on these dating apps, because it takes a lot of experience to do it. You just can't hire someone who doesn't know their stuff, you know.
Okay, what's the difference for dating apps versus other type of photography, and what's the difference between the different dating apps, and which are the most important ones that everyone needs to kind of get nailed down?
So I would say, like with high quality pictures, you can use them across all, you know, all things like Instagram, Tinder, OkCupid, any like dating app or like social media thing. Generally, because if an image looks good, it's generally good enough to go anywhere. But like primarily with like with Tinder or like dating apps like Hinge, you have to be kind of focused on showing your like face and body more, as opposed to like lifestyle photography, which you would use for like something like Instagram. I mean, don't get me wrong, you can use body and face pictures on Instagram, but it's also like you should have show your life, that you're like doing things, and then it's just not just you know, taking pictures of your face in, you know, high quality, right? So the difference would be like the style of the image, you know. One would be like to show that you're a good looking guy for these dating apps, and the other would be like a bit of both, you know, lifestyle and how you look.
Okay. So a mix of both. And what's the example of the lifestyle one?
So like say you're visiting like a beach and you've got your top off, but you're not staring directly into the camera and you're just looking at the sunset. That would be an example of lifestyle slash, you know, lifestyle generally, yeah.
Okay. And obviously you did advise people to hire a professional. How about if they, for some reason, they don't want to do that? What do you think? Is it game over for them, or do you have any tips for them what they can do themselves until they feel like they want to take that jump?
I would say like it's not game over, guys, because I'm not going to be all doom and gloom and say like you need to be a photographer if you want dating app success. Like you can have dating app success with like good from pictures taken by like old modern phones, but I would just say like do your research into like what pictures are good in terms of photography. Like have a high quality like phone camera, you know, like use an iPhone. Go to high quality locations, like and say like you've been, for example, you're in Bali for a business trip, yeah. Or you know, just a casual holiday, just take a picture of you in the lounge of a, you know, expensive hotel or infinity pool, and people will think generally it will be a good quality photo if it's taken in, you know, a good location with a good camera, and that should be like good enough to set some fuss up, you know, on these dating apps. Another like thing would be like posture, how you pose into the camera, how you look at the camera, the different locations you're going to. So like you could invest in that, but you have to know that like if you really want the best results, like you have to have the best pictures, because it shows you're a high value man who can actually afford to show his lifestyle, you know.
Okay, so you said actually go to hotels with these pools and these facilities and do the shoots there.
Even if you like, even if you're just passing by, even if you don't like rent out a suite or anything like that, it just the girl doesn't know that. She'll just see the guy and see that he has a really cool life and he goes on all these trips, you know.
That's a great idea. Do you reckon it actually helps to actually live that life?
I would say like if you live that life, you'll be getting it like also naturally, socially, but it also helps big time because then you don't have to like front and selectively pick locations, because you're just going to be naturally in those locations and just be taking pictures casually and have like a big history, build up of having those pictures, as opposed to where you just front and you're just going to have to keep picking different locations and, settling.
So you see these top Instagram guys where they literally got new Instagram pictures, content every day almost. Like, do they live with their photographer? Like, do you know how that lifestyle works?
Yeah, so generally they have like a paid team following them around to like locations, and they have like planners like planning where they should go to, what trips, what locations they should spend time in. So it's like they hire professionals to plan out like literally every bit of their lifestyles. But like these guys have serious money. They get like paid. Like for example, one influencer. If you're like Simeon Panda, for example, right? It's a bodybuilding influencer. Like him very well, JP. It, one post he does, he probably gets paid like 5 grand, 10 grand, because like these brands are like sponsoring him for these posts, and he can afford that type of life, so he can afford to pay people to like schedule these trips, follow him around, do this professional photography because that's his job.
So if he was to be the lens behind the lens, there'd be like 2 or 3 guys potentially
Definitely.
just snapping him when he's doing his general business and stuff.
Yeah.
And use that for vlogs. Wow.
Definitely. There's like a whole team behind these type of like big influencers. The ones you see like with like 500,000 followers, 200, 300,000 followers. They do have like teams because they, at the end of the day, they're making a lot of money from like advertising to people.
Yeah, that's the level I need to get to. Fingers crossed somehow.
It's doable. It's doable. I'll tell you what, it requires dedication and a lot of like learning and being adaptive, like also like just a lot of community engagement, like what you're doing with Maxing. You're building a following. If you can apply that to Instagram, but like your fitness, you can do something similar.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's even the purpose of this podcast, starting this up, just to kind of, because I feel like, whenever you're in front of the camera, you share something about you, people kind of understand you a bit more. And even these interactions, like, an interaction with you will be different to someone I spoke to yesterday and tomorrow. And yeah, fingers crossed. So we'll see what happens. What's your thoughts on like editing? So I'm sure you've seen the Maxxing group. We're very high on Looksmaxxing as well. Borderline, the whole black pill thing. We can all get into that. Like, I've had a bit of a backlash, to say the least, on that. Yeah, people seem to be totally against black pill.
Yeah.
Almost like it scares people away, like gives people the heebie-jeebies. Like, so I don't want to distance myself from it, but I feel like it goes without saying. Basically, I don't think I need to say it, if that makes sense. Like,
yeah, of course.
Everyone can make their own opinion on it. Like, what's your view on it? Now we've kind of gone down there. What's your view on it?
I'd say like if you generally want the best results, black pill is kind of correct. Like, it's a no-brainer. I mean, come on, man. Like, you see the athlete with a 6-pack looking like chiseled like a Greek god, and you see like the average dude with like no arms. You think, okay, girls are gonna pick the guy who looks more attractive. It's just basic biology, man. Like, at the end of the day, if you think about it, like back to caveman times, like women would go for the strongest guy, and that's a similar principle here. I know like guys can front about like game and stuff, but all the guys I know who do the best look the best. So you've got my opinion on like doing well with women. Look good, man, and you don't need to like work on things like game. I think game is just like a supplement. I mean, of course it works. You could build rapport with girls, but why do that when the shortcut is looking the best? Like, you get the results coming to you. It's literally no effort. And JP, like from like building that foundation, getting to the stage where girls are chasing after you.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously, I suppose, with your craft, you're about maximizing someone's looks, because someone can have, great looks, but with a terrible photo, they're wasting that. And then you
Yeah,
can even enhance average looks, like your skills. Like, I know you made me look like tons better. I feel like some of those shots, like my most popular shot is me in the jumper. It's like the last one. I was tired and cold. It was literally one of the last pictures we done. I'm not sure you've seen it. Obviously, you've seen it. You took it, but we're in
yeah,
I'm the one leaning. I'm leaning on the wall.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I've seen that one.
yeah.
It was the last shoot of the day, wasn't it? Yeah,
Literally, I was like a bit tired and like because it's hard. Like when you're posing and tensing, and and it was freezing in the jumper. But yeah, very worthwhile. And literally, my results have increased. Like literally right now. So I'm at a part now. I had so much abundance with, let's say, kind of above average girls, average above average. Like, and now I'm like, do you know what? I've worked too hard to be dealing with this. You know what I'm saying? Like, and now I'm trying to just, like, I've set my standards even higher now. Does that make sense?
yeah, for sure,
Now
man. I mean,
I'm having to change my approach a little bit, because obviously these women have a lot more abundance. I'm trying to take it a bit slower. I'm trying different approaches. That makes sense. Like before,
yeah,
I was
no,
like, just like almost barely saying the minimum possible, like getting the number, literally arranging the date, the next day, same day. And that works with, like, if we're talking about sixes and
yeah,
a half and sevens. But if we're talking about 7.5s and above, I feel like, the approach has to change. But those pictures, because the pictures, my profile, I feel, was so quality. Literally, like if you saw my matches now, like, I mean, maybe I should show the camera. Like the matches are like, fire. But they're not going through. They're not all going through. I'm not going to say that I'm meeting these girls every day.
no, yeah,
And even when I do meet them, it's not like they're DTF. You know what I'm saying? Like, I even had one come over the other day. I think the day before yesterday. What's the day? Monday, Saturday or Sunday. No, Saturday, and she was just like, I don't know. She was number one. She wasn't as nice as the picture, so I was a bit annoyed at that. And she was acting like she was like
oh man,
premium. You know them? No, she expected.
yeah,
I picked her up. She expected me to get dinner. I did order something. I ate as well, and then she wanted me to drop her home without giving up the goods. I was like, "Are you crazy?"
no.
Literally, I was like,
It's because guys allow this behavior to happen. It's the simping that goes around, and frankly, it's because like guys are the guys who are low quality try to make up for it with gifts, because they think gifts are what gonna land the girl, and then the girl gets that idea like every guy, even a high value guy, should do that, and that's just the behavior of the majority of the population that has instilled it into the female mind.
yeah, it was outrageous. I mean, it was bad. I should have probably kicked her out. She was even checking the phone here and there, and like, oh man, it actually basically turned out. I'll be honest. It turned out that basically she came from like up north, and she was coming to London for like a weekend, or was like a friend's birthday or whatever like that. And she stayed with a friend. Her friend basically had a date coming over, so she basically wanted somewhere to potentially stay the night. So I was like, okay, game on. But then it turned out that her friend got flaked by another guy, so she was all upset, and I think that affected her. And then she was like, oh, she wants to comfort her friend. So like, I was like, because my whole rule is if we don't go down on the first day, there's no second day. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
But
no.
I reckon I could potentially be losing leads that way. I mean, I'm literally at a stage where I'm just figuring things out. Like I need to get the quality higher and get my system down. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, yeah, of course. I mean, I think if you're at the point where like you're abundant, what I would do is I would kick out the time wasters, because there should be no time for time wasters when you can just replace them quite like quickly.
Yeah, it's so easy with online as well. It's like online's like throwaway. Like honestly, like I mean, I'd have a stunning girl, and I got to the point where even any sign of non-compliance, I would just forget it. So, for example, something small like ask her like usually when I set up a date, I'd ask her like, oh, "What's your favorite drink?" And then like she'd say what it is, and I'd be like, "Oh, we should get to know each other over a couple drinks at my place." Blah blah blah. So I asked one girl this, and she literally like tried to just swerve it and just ask me something else. So I just ignored it. And then she messaged me like 2 days later saying, "Oh, what you just ignoring my question," or something like that. Does that make sense? Like, but I feel like again, I feel I'm being too stubborn. I'm losing leads, but it feels like when your profile was good, there's so much abundance, especially now everyone's at home. and you know, and it's just sad to see people frustrated online. But you can see why they're frustrated. Number one, you could just see from the pictures that I don't know if it's low confidence or they just don't know what looks good. But it's like they take the pictures on a potato, the face is off, the clothes are off, and like it even affects how I feel about them. Like, I'm not gonna lie, there's a couple profiles, I'm not sure if they're trolls or not, but it's like I feel like I have to talk to this person differently, if that makes sense. Like sometimes I see a guy, he looks hell of out of shape, he looks like his body language is off just from the pictures, and I see him say something to me, and I'm like, is this guy lost his mind? Purely off his picture. It's crazy. But this our whole lives we've been used to images and online communities. Like, I mean, what's the first one? I remember MySpace was probably the first one. Even MSN. Do you remember MSN?
Yeah, back in the day.
Yeah. And we're constantly interacting with digital, like even WhatsApp, like this is all digital. We're constantly interacting with our digital selves. I mean, it pays to really, I mean, look at the effort. I literally, you know, paid effort put on this.
Yeah, sure.
It's ridiculous, but I know people are going to judge me based on, you know, how I appear, and pictures are the same. Would you agree?
Yeah, man, I totally agree. Like, your online persona is as important as your offline persona, like nowadays, because especially like aside from the romantic type of things, you see like it brings in more business prospects. You're not going to trust some tramp in like some shit blazer over a guy who's well dressed. You know, you'll be like, oh, this guy, you know, he clearly is wealthy. He clearly does business well. He dresses and holds himself to a high standard. I can trust him. I'm more likely to trust him online. And the same applies to like online dating. You know, if a girl sees a fat slob in a shit jumper, for example, they're not going to be like, oh yeah, he gives me the hots. If someone sees you like well dressed in a nice suit, playing the piano, for example, not to gas myself up, but but they'll be more invested in you, you know, and that's the point of it. Like, online persona is quite important.
Yeah, and I think if you're not paying any attention to it, you're missing out on a lot. I feel like even Instagram, like I feel like I'm letting my social media go to waste, and I'm learning those skills now. Because yeah, like a big thing I've been learning about is return on investment, which I'm actually speaking to Jay McDaniel on Thursday. He's all about return on investment and kind of social circle game, and obviously media plays a big part of it. And it's such it's so powerful. It's like fire, isn't it? Like if you can learn how to control it, like it can do a lot for you, right?
Yeah, man, it's like dominoes. Like once you get it in motion, it just builds up. Like if you get that following on Instagram, once people start hanging on to your stories, you're gonna get girls opening you because of your like content. Like with me, sometimes I post you know, some high quality content of me. Like for example, like last week I was having dinner at someone's house, and I posted like a picture of a nice dining table, and it was high quality content because you could see it was like it looked good. And I got I got a couple of girls like hitting me up on Instagram, opening me through my Instagram, you know, asking me what I'm doing during, you know, this season. I'm like, it really pays off, the online presence.
That's amazing. That's like, what's easier, doing that or now approaching someone off the street? They don't know who you are. You could be a murderer, a rapist, you could be a weirdo, like, and they literally have to make a decision within a second of, let me stop what I'm doing now and judge whether you're of any value to them based off what your body language and your looks at the time.
100%. You know, now think about it this way, JP. If you're like a woman and you see a random man stumble his way towards you, open you, and be like, hi, hello, try to sell himself to you, you're not going to be thinking, oh, this guy's a high quality man. He clearly lives a high quality life. He's made his way to you, stumbled his way across the market just to say hi to you. A high quality man wouldn't do that. A high quality man would either meet them in a nice social event, or the girl would just open them in like some online context. They wouldn't be chasing after the opposite gender. Any high quality man either, you know, instigates it mutually or gets chased. It's not like chasing. I think chasing is the wrong mentality. If, especially when you're a high quality guy, it's more likely the woman's going to reject you if you cold approach her because she sees no status there.
Of course, and you know, I suppose I'll plug who I need to plug. I've been observing some, you know, RSD Luke content. Have you heard of him?
Yeah, Luke Crow, right?
I don't know his last name. It's like quite big.
He's like this big fat white guy.
Are you a fan of his stuff or not?
I would say yeah. I'd say he's more like a scam artist. Like he likes to market a lot of shit, but if you try and learn the way he markets, you might learn how to like get the same stuff he does because he is successful. But at the end of the day, he's a businessman as well.
Yeah, I mean, I heard some of his concepts about, yeah, like he said he went through Game and Game was just about, like, yeah, just obviously just approaching, and he was comparing it to Social Game, and it just seemed like who with their right mind wouldn't go for Social Game. I suppose it's not just a case of just building it up. Like I feel like you have to have a certain level of success about you. But yeah, swiftly moving on. What do you think about editing and catfishing?
I think there's a level of editing you can do and it will be okay. But if you like do a lot of photo manipulation, it's gonna shoot you in the foot because when she meets you, she's not gonna be interested in you because you're gonna be a totally different guy. Now I've seen like a few posts in the Gym Max in group chat. Like I think some guy posted a picture of him looking totally different using like I think it's called the face app, and I was like, God, that's the wrong way of doing it because when she meets you, she's gonna fuck right off, and it happens, man. Like because it's a big like no one wants to meet a catfish. Like if you say like you meet a fat chick from a dating app and she uses pictures from like 30 years ago, you're gonna be like, what the fuck, man? I'm not gonna stick around, and it's the same for a woman. So I think there's like a limit you can do it to. If you like stick to that limit, then you can increase the amount of matches you get, the people you meet, without shooting yourself in the foot.
How do you gauge the limit?
So that's a tough one, man. I'd stick to like trying not to morph your face too much. Like say you have like I don't know, like the shape of my eyes. I wouldn't make them too slanted because I know, like, we're in the black pill uh, industry, like the set of eyes, the characteristics of your eyes, like attract more mates. If you have like more slittier hunter type eyes, you attract more mates. If I do that, for example, on myself, I know like the girl that when she meets me, she's not gonna be like, oh, that's the same person. She's going to know it's different. So don't modify like things in an obvious way. Things like you can subtly change, for example, like with a beard. Say like I'm patchy on one of the parts of my beard, you can fill that in. Or say like the jawline's not that defined, you can sharpen the image up. Or say like you've got like a bald patch somewhere here, you can add some hair to it. I would like stick to the minute level of things. Wouldn't change your eye color, change like the way your jaw is, because that's catfishing, and eventually you're just going to get caught out.
It's interesting. I saw someone in the group, one of the brothers posted, I was not sure if he saw it. He was literally face swapping from Instagram pictures. Did you see that?
I think that was the post, man. Forgive me
Yeah.
if I'm wrong, but I can't remember. I think it was some German guy. He was looking to post a guide about like I think online dating, and I'm quite against that because you're misrepresenting yourself.
It was like save time on all like the locations and fashion, and just get like a doppelganger and just swap your face in. And I was like, that's actually not a bad idea. if this physique looks like yours, it's crazy because there's playing with fire. I checked some of that stuff on YouTube. There's the main guy, Alex V. Vilnachek, I think his name is. He had a video of so he was going through what he does, and he actually was talking about he'll have an ab shot of just a body shot of no face, and he'll have that as one of the pictures to show he's got like an eight-pack. Wow, the guy just cheated the whole system. We get 12 years in the gym, 10 years in the gym, just get a picture and just cut off the head and say that's you. And by the time it comes down to her seeing it, she's
gonna run, bruv. She's gonna run. She's not gonna stick around. I mean, as good as an idea as it is, it's not a solution, man.
No, it's not a good idea. I wouldn't rate that. It's interesting. Like I feel because I've obviously with the quality pictures we've done, and I've used a couple of those apps as well to make them even better. Part of
Mm.
me does get a little bit self conscious. I do wonder. I do wonder, especially right now where I can't get a trim. No, the barbers are shut. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like,
I feel
um,
you.
yeah,
I'm
you just
looking like a
wonder.
caveman, man.
I mean, like, what do you like? Part of me feels like because I used to do video calls. I used to do video calls, and I still might do them more again, actually, because at least, like, you can't really fake a video call, can you? Like, the lighting's
No,
gonna
you can't.
be optimal. You're not posing. It's just your real self. And if she still wants to see you, I suppose, at least you both got that out of the way. Versus, but I suppose some people probably believe in, by the time she sees you, she probably already has your image of your digital self invested in her mind, and she might
Mm.
give you the benefit of the doubt. But for me, every woman I see online, they are 9 times out of 10 not as nice. Like
No,
it's
yeah,
great
agreed.
for me. Like they are not as nice. I've only had one pleasant surprise with a woman. She must
Look
have
better.
taken really bad photos. I must have just given her the benefit of the doubt, but generally that's not the case.
Yeah, yeah, man. I mean, I think it's because they use filters. They just use a lot of filters. Like just like these guys are using FaceApp to manipulate their faces. These girls use like similar filters to do the same thing. I mean, believe it or not, a lot of the users of FaceApp are also women.
They're for women. Oh, the users are also women.
Yeah,
Of course, women are pros at this. They got the high angle boob shots. They got, I always am aware. Like number one, look at the face. If the face is pudgy, then that's a sign.
well,
Number
that's
two,
number
if
one.
you don't see anything below breast and you don't see the arms, number two, if you do see the arms and the arms are big, probably bigger than yours, then that's another red flag.
Yeah,
And yeah, I think that should be enough to go on. Like you can tell a fat girl, like a slim girl will definitely show their body. They'll show them zoomed out. And the hottest girls generally don't even have their friends in the pictures. If this girl, a lot of times she's got her with another friend, that's
yeah,
another red flag. A lot of the time, not all the time. Like sometimes it's sad to see these below average women. They'll always be with an above average woman, and it's hard to tell. You're like, who is it? You kind of have to use your skills
yeah,
to
yeah,
detective skills.
definitely.
And if in doubt, just swipe left. Just don't say because the thing is,
Honestly,
it's such a slippery slope. It's like you match, and all of a sudden she says hello, you say hello, and oh, she's cool, she seems down, she's DTF, and then before you know it, she arrives, and you're like, ah. But then you're like excited, and you're maybe a bit aroused, and a bit horny as well. So you're like,
yeah, yeah. And then you just say, fuck it, throw in the towel and just bang her.
yeah, and then it wasn't that bad. She was all right. She didn't cause me too much hassle, and it's like before you know, you see her again. You see her again, and then it's a slippery slope. So just nip it in the bud from the start.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, eventually, yeah, you have to cut those out, like, especially when you
Oh,
work
man,
hard. You feel like, I'm gone.
it's disrespect to yourself. Like I remember we had a conversation earlier on, man, like about this. Especially when you like put the hours in the gym, put the hours making the
Mm.
effort, grooming yourself, and then she just comes on looking like a slob, looking nothing like the pictures, It's just disrespect, man. And I think men like these days don't respect themselves enough. They date girls and they settle because the lack of abundance they have in their lives, you know, or the lack of effort they put into their profiles and for searching for women, so they just accept with what they're given.
Exactly, and I feel like having role models of guys who are getting quality chicks is something that every man should do and try and get in their circle. I mean, even just observing some of these guys, like, have you heard of a guy called Michael Sartain?
Yeah, I actually follow him. He's like a magician for social circle, man.
Yeah, like I'm like, wow, this is the levels. Like, damn. Like, I don't think he's that tall as well. He seems like he seems like he's a pretty good looking guy. He feels like seems like he's got a little bit out of shape to what maybe his previous content and stuff. But the way the level of chicks is just like, damn. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll admit it. Like, I need to up up the levels, 100%. Like,
Yeah, I
so
mean,
I
there's a
think that.
lot to learn from. Sorry.
Oh, no, would you say there's a lot to learn from?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, with Michael Sartain, like this, even though he's out of shape, but there's so much you can learn from that guy. Like he's still somewhat in shape. He's not like he hasn't got a six pack. You can tell that he works out, but he's like at the baseline where the women find him attractive, and he's just statuses just props him up, you know. Like he's like a red carpet, like I don't know what it is, but he announces the red carpet for something. He hosts lots of events where, you know, a lot of hot girls turn up. He's just got the status of, you know, the alpha male in the hierarchy of those groups.
Yeah, I watched it was like a 2 hour interview actually, I think yesterday, of him with one guy. Only had like a couple thousand views or whatever, but I thought it was interesting. And he said he was training 7 days a week, which was good to hear. And you can see from his old pictures, he actually looks in really good shape as well. But he said he actually got involved just working for free as a videographer / host. So we'd have a little team with him, and he would actually just be the video guy in these charity events. And that's how he kind of got his in, which I thought was really interesting. Have you thought about doing anything like that in terms of, you do photography with like a couple IG models and stuff, innit?
Yeah. I mean, it's a good way of meeting like hot girls, and you know, sometimes you get to like network and go to parties, really cool parties, meet a lot of cool people. I've been thinking though, like to, you know, obviously when Corona's over and everything's on the down low, just like doing more event photography, trying to break into like you know, the heavier circles, you know, with a lot of higher value people, and then, you know, mix up with them, somewhat similar to my goals, I'll tell you, man, because, you know, you get the access to the quality girls, whereas, you know, on apps you would need to work twice as hard, because the competition on the dating apps is quite insane. But it's also like worth having another avenue.
How would you go about doing that as a photographer? Let's say someone's watching this and they want to, you know, hang around with IG models and increase their friend base of top quality women. What do you reckon? What's the first start? Let's say you don't even have a camera. What's the first start?
I mean, if they're looking to be photographers, then just build up their portfolio, and once that's done, naturally, you know, these high value IG models will want to be shooting with you, and then they'll, if you're in good terms with these IG models, like you have good rapport with them, you might end up like sleeping with one of them, or like even going to like a couple of parties with them if you become friends. Never like turn down like the option of being a friend with a woman like of high value, because it can get you in access into a lot of things. And I know a lot of guys say, oh, fuck the friend zone and stuff, but I would just ask them to separate that ego and look for the longevity of these things, you know, like the future scope of things, like, because there is a lot of like potential to like gain entry into like these bigger social circles. You don't need to do as much as work, you know.
Yeah,
once you're in there, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. And it's interesting because up until maybe 4 or 5 hours ago, I would have been like, what, friend zone? This and this, like, but I think the ego side is like, oh, you spend all this time and she's telling you about all her problems, and you know, you don't get no action, and all of a sudden, you know, instead of her going home, she's going to Tyrone or Chad's house, and you know, there's that kind of people have been burnt before. I think most men have been burnt before, right?
Yeah, man.
At least once. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, I totally agree. I mean, it's happened to me as well, man, where I've thought, oh, this girl's ditched me. She's probably gone hang out with some chad, you know, and I'm like, and later on I found out she's just chilling with her homies, like just airing me and just having a good time, you know. Whereas like later down the road, if you become a cool guy and you hang out with these girls, you get access to those social circles, you know, and then you're actually banging one of the girls from there. I mean, you'd be surprised, although like looks are one of the best things you can have if you want that instant, you know, connection, the instant, you know, bang, be able to bang a lot of women. Another good thing is just having the foot in there, just to be in that social circle.
Would you say good looks are abundant now with the times and Instagram and everything? Do you reckon it even like, would you say looks is a case of you need to have looks to compete, but you still have to do much more, or, you know, you can stand out just by looks?
I think it depends where you are, to be honest. If it's online, you need much more than looks. You need looks and charisma. If it's like offline, you can just cruise off looks, because if you're the hottest guy in the room, she's just bound to be more interested in you because you're just the most attractive. As long as you don't have like the personality of a fucking wall, you know, you can hold a conversation. You're gonna get laid. But like if it's online, you need to have everything. Because you've seen for yourself, like a lot of these top like fitness models, they've got all the looks, they've got everything, but they're not sponsored by like Gymshark. They're not like, they haven't got drones of girls like in their inboxes. So it does matter like how you convey yourself on these apps.
For sure, for sure. Cool. All right, Adam. We've got a couple questions, observations, so we'll go into that, and then I'll let you share how people can get in touch with you. I mean, before we get to that, actually, is there a way you reckon you could help someone even if you wasn't there? Like, could you direct someone on how to improve their kind of looks online and their personal brand? Do you do that as well as a package?
Yeah. This is, it's like one of my services. So like aside from like photography consultations, I do a lot of like wardrobe consultations, because the styling is very important, especially in person, or even like when you're just taking normal pictures when you're with your friends. You know, it helps like because it shows you're a high value guy. I also do like consultations with like I guess like how people should carry themselves on online dating, you know, and how they should structure their profiles, like what images are good, what images aren't good, what type of things to do in when you're on online dating, and what type of things to avoid. Say, like if you want to bring a girl home, I advise a guy like on the steps, like I have a system of steps guys should follow, and I'll, you know, try and, you know, mold them into that system.
Amazing, amazing. So yeah, obviously at the end, make sure you drop your details. Let's go for a couple of questions. Okay. Can you see the comments, by the way, or not?
I'm not on the StreamYard thing. Is it
Oh,
on
okay.
Facebook?
Oh no, that's cool. It's just StreamYard. Okay, so Daniel says, with confinement, no one can be in group shots, especially here in Quebec, Canada, when the cops are looking at people's profiles to see if anyone has new pictures. Wow. They'll find you and get a warrant to give you a ticket. Everyone is being afraid, so selfies aren't that easy to fake and not organic or natural. Okay.
Okay.
Someone else says Michael Jackson is the first black pill. Yes, I agree. Michael Jackson's hella black pill, but it didn't need to be. I mean, I think Michael Jackson's a special case. He probably had mental issues, right? You know, from being so famous so young and still having to feel like he's ugly. That's, I don't know, man. Okay, I say like Richard Cooper. So this is Daniel again. I'll say like Richard Cooper, do the work, stop your crying, get off your ass and do the work. It will advantage you at all levels. I don't really preach. I'm also working for a jacked version of myself, for myself only, and the rest will follow. Okay, I think that's a fair comment. All right, this is actual question. I don't know who asked this, but someone says, have you had client success with major editing? For example, making skinny arms average to even slightly jacked, or making someone's jawline wider at Adam?
I mean, yeah, it really depends on what the person wants. But ideally, I would like advise against like photoshopping yourself, because when you meet the girl, she's not gonna bang you, man. So I'm just gonna lay it out straight for you. I can do it, and people do get success online. They get the matches, but when the girl meets you in person, she's not gonna want shit to do with you. Like I've had a few clients have come back to me and complained, "Oh, why isn't this girl wanting to fuck me despite meeting me?" And I told them straight up, guys, man, you just faked it. You totally catfished the girl. That's why they don't want anything to do with you. And I'm not a magician. I can't convert your real body into something that you're not without you putting effort into it.
Yeah, for sure. Like you can go so far with it. So FaceApp, would you say don't use FaceApp?
I'd say use FaceApp, but use it in a way where your images don't look too fake. If it looks too different to who you are, right? like the jawline's completely different, the eyes are completely different, the eyebrows are completely different, then don't use it. If it just cleans up your skin, for example, darkens your beard, maybe like make edits your forehead shape a little, you're okay. But if it completely changes, you just don't use it.
That's a good advice. Yeah, I'm gonna make me double check my pictures now.
No, I've seen your pictures. I mean, from what I've seen, is it looks very similar to you. All it did was like clear up your skin a bit and darken the beard. It's all right.
Okay, making me feel good. Give me that confidence. Cool. All right, Adam. So yeah, share where everyone can get in touch with you, where you're located, how far you spread, or tells you travel and things like that for the brothers and anyone watching.
So, like, for anyone that wants to get in touch with me, I mean, you can easily just hit me up on Facebook, like add me on Facebook, or if you're like interested, you can visit my website. JP will be like posting that in the comment section because I'm banned from Facebook from commenting, because they're social justice warriors. So I'll have to let JP do that for me. You'll be able to contact me through the website or just Facebook or Instagram. You can hit me up through my DMs on Instagram at instagram.com, Adam K Shoots. Yeah, so I guess that's it. I cover like all of London. I even travel outside of London. I do different types of photography aside from dating photography. I do like event photography, wedding photography, corporate photography, anything anything associated with photography, I do it.
Amazing. I was wondering why you were so quiet. Actually, I forgot you've been blocked. So how long have you got left until you're free from Facebook jail?
So about 27 days, man. I've been in there for a long time. It was 45 days, bro.
You didn't post anything that bad, I swear.
No, man. I was like in the group and I said, I told some guy don't put pussy on the pedestal, and then I got a 30-day block for it.
And then they added on top.
Yeah. It's fucked, man. It's been happening to me a lot these days. Now I have to like make a different account if I want to like comment in the community.
Like the online, especially with the pandemic being forced online, like that is painful. If I was to be blocked for a month, I'd be so upset.
Like, oh man. When I saw the block, I was like, fuck this. I wanted to toss my phone out the window.
Yeah, I'm literally checking Facebook every day. It's like I'm catching in with the fellas. Like, how's everyone doing? Like, there's debates going on, and like I used to hate Facebook, but Facebook is like my life now. Maybe it's a bit bad for my business. Like, it's so reliant on Facebook. Literally, like the community is so powerful. The groups are powerful.
Oh, it brings you lots of clients, and it also connects you with really cool people. Like you can build a network with. It's just one of the best things out there. But when you're in Facebook jail, you can't do any of that shit, man.
You could still DM people, right?
Yeah, I can. I can definitely do that.
I've got people literally screenshotting my posts and giving me comments to my PMs because they're Facebook jailed. It's crazy.
It's not a nice place, bro. It's not a nice place.
You'll be back soon. You'll be back soon.
Yeah. I'm gonna watch it, man. Call it on the comments.
Yeah, so what I do asterisks, I do spaces, like you know what to do in it, like just the pronunciations and
change it, like add a one.
Yeah,
when you're writing bullshit.
I'm not even trying to argue with people no more. Like I'm tired. I'm not trying to change people's minds. Like literally in the group, if someone is against it, like because I find you get these guys. Because my group is, if you're watching this, you know my group. You're watching it in the group. If you're watching it on YouTube, it's Gymmaxxing community. You can find the link in the description. And our thing is about, Looksmaxxing, Gymmaxxing, being the best version of ourselves visually as well as everything else as well. But visually is very important. And you get a lot of these guys who they think they're more enlightened and they kind of look down on everyone who's trying to improve their looks and say you guys are silly. You think only like when looks don't matter. Do 1,000 approaches like me, and then you can really understand what women like. And I'm just like, I'd have to know this 1,000 approaches. Who's got time? Do you think Bill Gates, instead of building Microsoft, was doing 1,000 approaches? Or Bezos? It's ridiculous. Like
it's silly, man. It's so silly.
And you look at their profiles; they look about at least 2 stones overweight, at least. look like they have no desire to go to the gym, and they'd rather make themselves feel better by putting everyone else down who's trying to better themselves. You know?
Yeah, I'm not sure whether you saw this one guy who was trying to argue with me about Instagram, telling me how I should do my own Instagram game. And this guy was about 2 stone overweight, and his pictures were basically him from like a mile of distance. And he was trying to tell me he's getting mad pussy and I should learn from him. I was like, all right, man, okay.
Yeah, like I've literally have to remove people, and the thing is that I mean, the engagement is not so crazy, like literally, but you know, it's peaceful. Like you know, I'm not getting amped up, you know, and it's the PUA purists who still are back in 2008 PUA of looks so
Oh
much.
man,
They're just
that is just so outdated, man. Absolutely ridiculous, man. You've seen it for yourself, man. These guys are just trying to sell to people in your group. That's all they're trying to do.
yeah, they're coaches, yeah, and exactly. Instead of just because why would you stay in the group? And I even asked one of the guys, and he was like, he does the emotional, mental recovery before the pickup.
Yeah, okay, bro.
He was talking about so he's basically a coach, so I had to kick him out. And then the thing is, you get these coaches and you get their fans who are so indoctrined into the coach's mindset that they are literally echoing everything he's saying. And I just had to, you know, people actually get upset when he kicks on out the group. They get upset, literally. Like they'll DM me or they'll at me in another group, and I'm like, bro, like part of it is my fault. Like my intention for the group wasn't initially for, you know, it was obviously about improving your gym in the gym and looks. Maybe they thought, you know, it was going to be purely just about, you know, technique and what food, you know, was the best time to eat chicken and protein, you know. But obviously, we cover other topics as well. Like we're just trying to better the most success we can with women and in general in life. And you know, and I'd rather a group, a community of guys who think the same way, that we can agree and support each other, versus spend half our day arguing, where you know it's like, you know, two immovable forces. Like no one's budging. It's too much pride and ego. And I think people look at me
ridiculous,
accusing me of being a jock. Like I haven't heard that anyone say that term since like American Pie. To be fair, and I'm not trying to make anyone feel bad. Maybe people think that I'm arrogant because I feel like, oh, I've done this time in the gym, now I can tell you lot. But it's just my journey. You know what I'm
honestly,
saying? Like,
man, it's ridiculous. It's just what they're doing is they're projecting insecurities because they don't really put in the hard work. Like the truth be told is a lot of these guys are looking for like excuses not to succeed. Like if they put in an ounce of effort, they put in when complaining towards like something productive, they would actually be getting women. What they want to do is they want to believe that like the scam artists, like the pickup artists, the guys who tell you to do 5,000 approaches, oh, you can be a fat fucking slob and you get everything you want. The truth be told, man, it's not like that. They just want to believe in some kind of, you know, hoo-ha dreamland thing, you know?
exactly, and they can't. I mean, I can't relate to their reality. They can't relate to mine, and it should just be that way. Let them do their thing, live their life, enjoy their life. Let us self improve together, and grow and support each other. But yeah, Adam, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your valuable knowledge. I know it's late over here in London; it's like 10 o'clock now, but I'm sure people have found this extremely valuable. Hopefully, we can do this again. And yeah, thanks again for coming on.
Yeah, man, it was absolutely my pleasure. I mean, I enjoy like being in the group. Shout out to JP for having me on here. Yeah, JP, just feel free to give me a shout whenever you want me to jump on. I'm open to business.
Excellent. We'll do another shoot as well soon. I'm gonna chop up 5 kilos and then we're gonna do more topless shots and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna max it out, bro.
Wicked, bro. All right. Take care, everyone. Catch you soon.